Welcome back to AM Northwest. It's a creative way to calm a busy mind. Here to share a project to help ease your worries, we welcome back artist, educator, and the author of several books, including Mindful Sketching, Peggy Dean. Great to see you again.
Great to see you.
I was just teasing her because I don't think I've seen all the tattoos before, and I realized she's already doodled on her arms, so we're ready to start today.
Did you doodle on your arms recently too?
No, you never know. Okay, let's talk about doodling.
There's a lot of color going on in my life.
I love it. I love it.
So there's so many different ways to doodle or draw, and I know that we've done like intricate botanicals and we've done doodles in the past, but I don't know when the last time I just came and like, let's throw color in it, because this is my whole life and I'm just like, color, yes.
I'm all about color.
So this exercise in particular is so easy.
Okay.
And it looks really cool when it's done. And so basically, we are just gonna jump in and we'll talk about it. So you can grab, these are just like basic standard paint pens. There's nothing special about them at all. They do have a brush tip, so the side that's thick is a brush tip, there we go. So all we're gonna do is just draw. I'm gonna use the brush tip, the side of it, because it's just easier to get like a larger surface. And you're just gonna draw like a weird wobbly line.
I think what we've talked about before too is that doodling kind of helps if you're stuck creatively, it helps kind of release ideas because it's just going with the flow.
It is.
Okay.
And what I like so much is like you're able to kind of channel, exactly what you're saying. I've talked to my dad about this. My dad is really creative also, and he does a lot of woodworking. And whenever we talk about what project we're working on, he's just like, you know, anything to busy your mind.
Yeah.
Or to release your mind,
it calms
Dad.
your mind, especially with all the things going on in our nation. It's nice to just doodle and your mind goes elsewhere. I mean, as it goes into the color, like how pretty the color is, it goes into something more calming.
You know, I haven't talked about this with you a whole lot, but this is actually, this type of an exercise is what got me into this whole industry to begin with. And it was like my own mental health journey and healing and my coping mechanisms that needed to kind of shift at one point in my life. And I started just doodling aimlessly. And I just felt like, yes, it felt very mindful, but it was like mindless and mindful put together.
Gotcha.
And so I was able to just kind of like embrace every single, just being still, but not being still.
Not being still, right, gotcha.
And it was really healing.
Now we're not paying attention to like the color wheel, what colors go with what. We're just free it's just free flow.
It is.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go into this next part for sake of time, but basically you would fill the whole thing in just like these blobs that just kind of overlap.
Okay.
But then when it comes to like doodling, if you look at this, yes, it looks intricate, but if you really look, they're all just basically these, I'll hold it up so we can see. They're basically these very simple shapes. You know, we have these oblong shapes. We have some oblong that just have these curves at the top. We have these leafy types of shapes that are like bound together at the bottom. They're just different ratios, like different scale. So smaller here, larger here.
Oh, yeah.
And it's creating this like, points of interest throughout so that your eyes actually do continue to dance through the entire piece rather than just being stagnant or falling off a page, you know?
Okay.
It's a rule of photography I learned in 9th grade.
Oh, look at you. Okay.
No, but
look at that.
So like these are just basically blobs, right?
Okay.
And then I'll just take the same color and if I go real small and just do like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then just cover that entire area. And I would take this higher, you know, with overlapping color, but because I like it when they kind of peekaboo just above some of them.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Because it just creates a little bit of depth, even though it's such, you know, it doesn't need to because it's a flat doodle illustration. But then when you have a basic shape like that, that's where you can overlap it with something else. So you could go in, and have like little dots. So like little dots right here. So if I can just go in and on one side concentrated like top right or something. And making those tiny decisions, which they're so simple, but it's like, okay, now I have a little something to focus on without taking my mind and making this so complicated for myself, and I don't have to make it perfect. And that's one of the things I love so much about art is that like none of this has to be any way other than what we decide for it to be.
What we decide, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And so I find the more that this happens, like the more intricate it could be. It was very hard for me to stop at this point, but I was because you could just get smaller and smaller with detail and go more and more and more. But then it turns out it could get busier than what you would want. Over time, you're just like, oh, I think I like it, just like really simple. And
Well,
really
this whole thing is just incredible, and it's really beautiful, honestly.
But if you isolate, right?
Yeah.
So isolate the color. Oh, you see, okay. Then you just have a flat color and then a shape and then a dot in the middle. Right here, you have a flat color, you have a stem, and these leaves are just darting off of it, and then you have a single, like, meh line right in the center of the leaf. So if we did something like that, I would just like basically draw the stem, and then I could do this with the thicker side and it would be faster. But it's not about that, is it? But then we
It's
go
about
through
just
here,
letting, oh, I love that.
right? And
yeah.
then a simple line in the middle that doesn't have to be pretty. It's just like, these are not pretty if you
Right.
like really look at them. But then everything ends up coming into this dance. This one I really like because they're essentially like horseshoe shapes. I'm just doodling randomly on the page now.
Okay.
But they're like these horseshoe or like U shape with a flat top, and then two leaves that are underneath. So in this kind of cradling that shape. And then something I really like doing, and it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, are these three random lines just at the top. They're kind of like, okay, this is the flower's stamen area,
Right.
only in a doodle form, because when we're doing art,
You get the idea. You
Yeah.
don't need an exact
no, because
drawing.
art is not literal. Like
Right.
it can be,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, but we're
Yeah.
not out to win that award right now.
No, not right now. Maybe later.
Maybe later.
So tell me about these pens. I love these pens. It's like working with watercolor, but easier.
So, and it's acrylic.
And it's acrylic.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
and so you can layer and layer. Listen, these pens were just like a cheap, like random find.
Yeah.
One of my art friends found it. It's called, I love sharing stuff like this. Like, look what this cool tool I found. It's called Just Art without
Just
a T.
Art.
I found them on like
Oh,
Amazon or
wow.
something. Yeah.
And acrylic marker.
And it comes with,
but,
like,
but
so
with a
many.
it's a brush.
A brush, and then the other type, the other side is a bullet tip, and so you can go
Oh
in
yes,
between.
I see the bullet tip now.
But yeah, like I've tried a lot. I use a lot of paint pens, and they run out so quickly with how often I use them. And
Yeah.
somebody just suggested these to me, so I bought them, and I'm like, okay,
This is the way
yeah.
to go.
And you
I
don't have
like
to
it.
pump them,
No. Oh,
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
because a lot of acrylic pens you have to sit there and pump and pump
Yeah.
and pump.
All right, thank you
Nothing.
so much. This was a great idea. Again,
Yay.
your latest book is Mindful Sketching. Peggy Dean, thank you so much.
Thank you so
All right,
much.
we'll be right back with more AM Northwest. Don't go away.